starts moving and then some running
Yeah.
again.
Yeah.
Because she has a lot of fear of losing Elliot.
That's true.
Do we know which direction she'll be going for the next season? Will there be any challenges for her?
It's interesting. I mean, other than the obvious challenge of a fairy occupation, and obviously they are hostile. You're right. That is sort of her worst fear, losing Elliot, and she was faced with that, with the decision she made to, negotiate with his child. And sort of the worst happened. Their relationship was damaged. So, I hope that there's more of an independent drive for her this year, and I think there will be. I mean, we haven't seen a lot of the script, so we don't really know what's happening other than there's a new set, which is the boat, which is really exciting, and I know I will be popping up on that because they bothered giving me a sailing lesson. So yeah, I mean, I'm most excited about working with Candace King. I think she's such a strong actress and has such a strong presence, and I did a scene with her last week, and I got so excited about that power struggle. So yeah, I'm really looking forward to that specifically.
We are too.
Yeah, she's amazing.
One of the things I love about this show is that the female characters are just so incredibly strong, and they're the ones who are willing to do what needs to be done, while the men often waffle and have real problems making the choices.
Hi, guys.
Hi.
The king.
Can you talk a little bit about
I know you.
Margot and her ability to make those choices, and the power of the women on the show in general when the men sometimes have problems stepping up?
Well, I think what you just said is a credit to Sarah Gamble, but also John. I mean, he has such an understanding of women. I mean, not every male writer does. And I feel like he does. And we have this great group of writers that's pretty diverse. So I think first it's the writer's credit, but you're right. I mean, I do get to play a layered character, and one of the things that sticks out about me to Margot is there doesn't have to be a reason that she's a bitch. There doesn't have to be a sob story. There probably is, and there is a bit of it in the books, but there doesn't have to be a reason for her behavior. It just is who she is. It's not because she went through a trauma or she's a victim. And she's allowed to just be that. That's what's really great about playing her.
But wouldn't you say that there are events in her past that led her to behave a certain way?
Yeah, and we just haven't explored them in the show. But yeah, there definitely is, and I wonder how close it's going to be to the books, because in the books it was basically paternal abandonment and isolation. So we'll see if we explore that for her and what it looks like in the show. So.
I think Elliot and Margot fill a void in terms of family, the love of a family member that they really didn't have growing up, and so there's a deep need for each other.
Yeah.
That verges on codependence, especially season 1, and they're starting to reorient themselves in their new context. But it's hard. I think it's going to take some time for them to really re-find their healthiest relationship to one another.
Yeah.
Well, Hale, since you're here, hello.
Hi.
I'm Jennifer from TV After
Hi,
Dark.
Jennifer.
We love shooting with you, by the way, every week.
Oh.
So obviously we see Elliot kind of in a really sticky situation at the end of the season. His wife, who he was very reluctant to be around in the beginning, has now been kidnapped. His child is there.
Right.
And we know that there's conflict over Margot's actions and her participation in her just,
For
what
sure.
happens. Do you think that Elliot found it surprising how much he eventually learned to care about?
I think that Elliot cares. I think that Elliot becomes endeared to Fen in a way because she is someone who he would have completely overlooked, and the surprise lies in the fact that her open-heartedness kind of takes him off his mark in a way, not in a romantic sense necessarily, but as a person in the world. And Elliot as someone who perhaps would have not looked at her twice as someone to be friends with, certainly not someone to sleep with, date, romantically, whatever, certainly not marry. And I think that her innate goodness is something that he learns from. I think a clearer soul match for him is someone like Margot, or perhaps King Idri. I think that there's a lot of potential for Elliot to actually have a love interest, a significant love interest that lasts beyond an episode or two, and I think it's high time for the queer character on The Magicians to be treated equally on that front.
Thank you.
That was a great way to wrap up this table.
It's awesome.
Can I ask a quick question?
Sure.
Who would your characters dress up as for Comic-Con?
I don't know. Probably him. Elliot would probably dress up as Margot or himself.
I was going to say, I would dress up as Elliot.
Yeah.
Love it.
Who would I just, or Elliot?
Elliot.
Yeah, they would probably.
We'd just swap.
They'd just swap.
I always get jealous of his wardrobe, so.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thanks.
Well, gosh.
Well, we don't get to see much of your face in the show because your hair's all over.
It's a character.
Right.
Yeah.
Definitely.
He's just hiding from the camera.
No. It's a reflection of his inner life.
It's very true.
Well,
It's strategic. It's not just when you can't when it's in his face. There's a reason, and when it's not, there's also a reason. So
It's kind of like the colors Luke wears.
Yeah.
in Star Wars.
everything I do has a choice. Nothing's accidental. Are you guys gonna take these?
You can have them.
Not if you're going to. I'm not going to steal those from you. Well, I'm Jennifer from TV After Dark. We love your show. We always like playing along with you guys. But, one of the things I'm sure our fans are going to really want to know is at the very, very end of the season finale this time around, we see a role reversal between basically Quentin and Julia, where Julia is the one that gets to harness the magic, whereas Quentin is magicless. So to some degree, it's almost like a role reversal because you get to go to break those and she gets left out.
Yeah.
So how do you think that changes the dynamics between them, and how does each of you think your character feels about it going forward?
I don't know, I can't speak for you, but I don't feel as though there's like a jealousy aspect to it, at least not consciously. I feel like they've kind of come together and teamed up to figure out sort of why Julia has this magic and how to like harness it and propel it into something bigger so universally everyone can have magic again. Problem solving.
These problems or this problem is bigger than anything they've ever faced before, because it affects everything. We're in a world where, so it's fun, like magic ends, right? So what does that mean? Throughout the seasons, we've kind of sprinkled this idea that all of the great inventors of our time were magicians. So what happens when the things that they invented begin to fail? Do we have electricity? Like, is the internet working well? Do the airplanes start falling out of the sky? Like, does the gravitational force of the moon still work? Was there like magic there? Did the tide stop working? Have the seasons stopped working? Like, there's so much to deal with because it turns out magic is tied into everything. So because it's been around for so long, it's intrinsic to this world. So you take that away, and it's an energy crisis. And so there's a responsibility to the globe, to the global community, to fix this thing, because it's like, yes, they love magic, and it's a part of their personality and who they are, but it's bigger than that.
Yeah.
And so, yeah.
Can you talk a little bit about Julia's choice to choose compassion and justice, and making the choice not to kill Reynard, and making that final, because her entire journey through this entire season has really been her growth and her struggle, and again, she was gifted with her soul, and how she's going to struggle with that and those new feelings she has. Is that going to continue forward? Because we didn't see that obviously within that little vignette of time spans when she got at the end, when we saw her powers come back, or her magic come back. But is she still going to be dealing with the ramifications of getting her soul back, and that choice she made with Reynard?
I think that I'm not sure why the writers chose what they chose or did, but the way that I've justified it for me is that because she spared his life and was able to give him empathy, maybe that's impartial to the, or I mean, has reason to do with the fact that she's got these powers. I mean, you know what I mean? That could have been sort of like something that happened. I think that the assault with Reynard will never leave. That's become like a part of her, and that will continue to resurface throughout the season, season 3. I think for the series, that's something that never just goes away, right? Sorry, what was the second part of that question?
Oh, just now that she has her soul back and she has those feelings.
The soul back, I don't know if we go back into that. I think that might be done, the shadeless thing, although I don't know.
I mean, I doubt it, but...
Yeah, well, you never know. We never know what we're going to get.
Okay.
Oh,
thanks, guys.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Awesome.
Is everybody else on? So I'm Jennifer from TV Afterward. We love live tweeting
hey.
every single
Love you guys.
I know, we love your responses. They're always hilarious.
Thanks.
So we see at the end of the season that Alice has been essentially forced back into human form against her. And we know that at the very least she was very much enamored with the idea of the power of knowledge. And not necessarily this unlimited power, but just power of knowledge.
Yes.
And we know that there's going to be quite a bit of conflict between her and Quentin. Where do you think she is mentally going into season?
She's very angry. I mean, she got to be a primal beast, and she got to experience magic on a level that none of the other characters have. You know, she was pure magic for, I mean, we don't know how long. When you're in Niffin world, it could have been 1,000 years that she was there. So she made a lot of people angry while she was in Niffin. And I think this season we're going to find out who that was and what she did, I hope. And what was your original question?
What is her mindset going into season?
Yeah, okay, yeah. I mean, she wants magic back. Everybody wants magic back. I think that's the theme of this season, and it'll be fascinating to see these characters try to piece that together and find it without having magic. And I think they're going to have to rely on each other and human beings more than we've seen them, which is really the heart of the show. It's not a show about magic, it's a show about human beings. And so, yeah. But, I mean, she's so pissed at Quentin. I know that much.
Do you think her fear of revenge from the people that are mad at her is going to be actually worse than the repercussions from those people?
Oh, that's a good question. I'm not sure. I mean, I'm just now learning as I'm reading the scripts what they have in mind for the season. And she's a really intelligent woman, and that's what drew me to this character. And even if she's afraid of them, her fear does not stop her from what the task at hand. And so I think she'll work her way through her fear. But yeah, I mean, she's got some bad things coming after her this season. Yeah. I don't want to spoil anything.
It's been a while since Alice has had interactions with Elliot and Margot and going to Fillory. Are we going to see her return there at all?
I hope so. I didn't get to be in Fillory as much as everyone else. But, you know, when we lost magic, we are kind of stuck wherever that happens, which I think is like a really cool way to start the story, is wherever, you know, if you were in Chicago, you're stuck there. If you're in Fillory, you're stuck there. And so these characters have to find their way to each other again. And I hope I find my way to Fillory. We got a boat this season. I get really seasick, so I'm kind of hoping they hold that one off for a while. But yeah, I don't know. I love when I get to do scenes with people I don't work with a lot. Like Stella and I never get scenes together. I mean, Alice doesn't like her, so it makes sense. But I love working with Hale and Summer. But, you know, we're all on different missions. But it's TV. We'll find our way back together again.
So I guess one last quick question. This is a fun one. We know that this is a very musical cast, and we've had a chance to see quite a few musical numbers. If Alice was given a chance to have a go-to karaoke song, what would it be?
Oh, no. No, she wouldn't. Because neither does Olivia. I've never sung karaoke, and it terrifies me. The only time I've sang in public at all was on the show when we did, I don't know, episode 3, the first season, when I had to sing to bring my brother back. That was the first singing that we've done on the show, and it was just a cappella. They're like, don't make it sound good, just make it sound like Alice trying to get through it. And I'm like, okay, easy. That was terrifying. So I don't think Alice would do karaoke.
Sorry, I know everyone wants like a real answer, but I don't have one.
Well, that is a real answer.
Yeah.
She went to karaoke.
Yeah, you can't make her do anything.
Thank you guys.
Thanks,
Thank you
guys.
very much.
Thank you.